Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe. My brother, listen carefully because what you're about to hear can change the way you see love, leadership, and your role as a man. Too many men today have forgotten what it means to lead in a relationship. They mistake control for leadership, silence for strength, and pride for wisdom. But a true king understands that leadership is not about domination. It's about guidance, vision, and unwavering presence. In this video, we will uncover the timeless truth of what it means to be the king in your relationship and how to embrace a kind of leadership that earns not only love, but respect. If you've ever wondered how a man can truly stand as a leader without crushing the spirit of his woman, then this message is for you. Before we dive in, make sure you like this video, share it with a brother who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the Stoic Golden Tribe so you never miss the wisdom that helps men like you rise above the noise of this world. Stay with me until the end, because every chapter of this video builds on the last, and by the time we're done, you will see yourself and your role in love differently. And remember, if you're part of this tribe, don't just watch silently. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the Stoic Golden Tribe grows stronger when men like you share your wisdom. Chapter 1: The Role of a King in Love. Every kingdom rises or falls on leadership. And in the same way, every relationship either flourishes or collapses, depending on the strength of the man who leads it. But leadership in love is not about control. It is about responsibility. A king does not exist to serve his own ego. A king exists to serve his people, his vision, and his legacy. And in the same way, a man in love is called to lead with clarity, protection, and purpose. Think of the great leaders of history. Marcus Aurelius did not rule Rome by barking orders. He ruled with discipline, wisdom, and a vision greater than himself. Leadership was not about feeding his pride, it was about serving the empire. The same is true for you as a man in your relationship. You are not called to lead your woman by force or fear, but by direction and strength of character. A king leads by setting the tone. If you are restless, your home will feel restless. If you lack discipline, your relationship will lack order. But if you hold yourself to a higher standard, your woman will naturally rise with you. Women are not drawn to men who demand respect. They are drawn to men who embody it. A king's presence inspires trust. His discipline creates stability. His vision provides direction. But here is the truth. Leadership is not optional. If you do not lead, the relationship will drift. If you do not stand firm, the foundation will crack. A woman does not want to carry the weight of direction. She may test you, challenge you, even resist you, but deep down, she respects a man who knows where he is going and refuses to be shaken. To lead as a king in love is to understand this. You are not in competition with your woman. You are not there to outshine her, nor to suppress her. You are there to set the vision, protect the bond, and hold steady when storms come. A weak man is tossed around by moods, by emotions, by circumstances, but a strong man is like the oak tree. His roots sink deep, and his presence provides shelter. So ask yourself, are you leading your relationship with vision, or are you leaving it to chance? A king does not wait for direction, he gives it. And a woman, when she sees true strength, does not resent it. She respects it, even if she never says it out loud. Brother, let me ask you, do you believe a man should always lead in love, or do you think leadership can be shared equally? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Chapter 2: What leadership in love is not. One of the greatest mistakes men make is confusing leadership with control. Too many men think that being the king means their word is law, that their woman must obey without question, that their role is to dominate rather than to guide. But this is not leadership, it is tyranny. And tyranny always collapses. History proves it. Think of the kings who ruled through fear, men like Nero, who demanded loyalty but inspired rebellion. Their empires crumbled because fear does not create devotion, and control does not create respect. A relationship ruled by fear will eventually rot from within. A woman may stay for a time, but her heart will not follow a man who crushes her spirit. True leadership is not about silencing your woman, but about listening to her without losing your ground. It is not about cutting off her voice, but about guiding it toward harmony. The weak man either shuts his woman down in anger or bends completely to her emotions in fear. But the strong man stands steady. He hears her out, but he does not abandon his role. He leads not by force, but by presence. Many men today avoid leadership altogether. They hide behind phrases like, "We're equal partners, I don't want to lead, we'll figure it out together." And while equality is good, indecision is not. A man who refuses to lead leaves his woman with no direction, no security, no certainty. This forces her into a role she was never meant to carry, to be the captain of the ship while still craving the strength of her king. Understand this, leadership is not selfish. It is not about always getting your way. It is not about commanding her every move. Leadership is about responsibility. It is about owning the direction of your life and relationship. It is about making hard decisions when she cannot, holding steady when she wavers, and building a vision strong enough for two people to walk inside of it. When a man thinks leadership means controlling every detail, he kills the spirit of the woman beside him. But when a man thinks leadership means avoiding responsibility, he burdens her with a weight she secretly despises. Both are mistakes that destroy love. The true leader is not fragile. He does not crumble when his woman challenges him. He does not panic when she disagrees. He does not resort to shouting, insults, or manipulation to keep her in line. A king is secure enough in himself to be tested and to remain unshaken. He knows that storms do not weaken a true leader, they reveal him. So, my brother, here is the hard truth. Leadership in love is not about your ego, it is not about your pride, it is not even about being right all the time. Leadership in love is about serving a higher standard, guiding with vision, and protecting the bond between you and your woman as if it were a kingdom under your care. A real king does not demand respect, he earns it. He does not force loyalty, he inspires it. And he does not dominate his queen, he honors her, knowing that her strength amplifies his. Leadership is not control. Leadership is responsibility, and only the strong accept it. What do you think, brother? Have men in today's world confused control with leadership? And do you believe women truly respect a man who leads with calm authority? Share your thoughts below. Chapter 3. How a man leads with strength, wisdom, and calm authority. Leadership in love is not something you claim with words, it is something you prove with presence. A man can talk all day about being the leader, but if his actions are weak, his words mean nothing. A woman does not follow titles, she follows strength, consistency, and vision. So what does true leadership look like in practice? First, it begins with self-mastery. No man can lead a woman if he cannot even lead himself. If your emotions control you, if your anger explodes without reason, if your laziness sets the rhythm of your days, then you are unfit to lead anyone. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the foundation of male leadership. Discipline over yourself, mastery over your emotions, a steady mind that is not tossed about by the storms of life." Second, leadership requires vision. A king without a vision is just a man with a crown. He may sit on a throne, but he leads nowhere. And many men in relationships make this mistake. They expect loyalty without offering direction. They have no plan for the future, no clarity for where the relationship is heading, no backbone to say, "This is where we are going." A woman does not want a man who drifts aimlessly. She wants a man who has a path. Your vision does not have to be grand, but it must be clear. If you say, "This is my mission, this is where I'm going, and this is how I'll build it," she can either align with you or walk away. But if you have no vision, you give her nothing to respect. Third, true leadership shows itself in calm authority. A weak man thinks shouting makes him strong. A true leader knows silence and composure are far more powerful. Imagine a storm at sea. Everyone is panicking, but the captain stands steady at the wheel. He does not scream, he does not break down, he does not abandon the ship. His calm presence reassures everyone on board. That is what a woman looks for in a man during conflict. Not panic, not rage, but calm strength. A woman feels safest when her man is unshaken, especially when life feels uncertain. Fourth, a leader must show provision and protection. And let me be clear, this is not just about money. Provision is not only financial, though that is important. It is also emotional provision, spiritual provision, and the provision of stability. Do you create an environment where your woman feels safe to be herself? Do you provide guidance when she is overwhelmed? Do you create opportunities for growth? Leadership is not just about feeding mouths, it is about feeding souls. Protection is also more than physical. Yes, a man should be willing to defend his woman physically if needed, but more often protection means shielding her from unnecessary stress, foolish decisions, and destructive influences. It means setting boundaries for your home, for your relationship, and for yourself. A king does not allow chaos into his kingdom, and a man must not allow it into his relationship. Fifth, leadership requires servant strength. Many men hear servant and think weakness, but history shows otherwise. The greatest leaders served their people. Christ himself washed the feet of his disciples. Marcus Aurelius lived with humility while ruling the most powerful empire in the world. To lead is to serve with strength, not to be a tyrant. A man who serves his woman by guiding her, protecting her, and uplifting her does not lose authority. He gains respect. And finally, leadership is proven in consistency. Any man can act strong for a week. Any man can hold discipline for a short season, but only a true king sustains it over time. Your woman will test you, not because she wants to destroy you, but because she wants to know if your strength is real. She will push, she will question, she will even resist. Do not see this as rebellion, see it as her way of asking, "Can I trust you? Can you really carry this weight?" And when you remain steady, when you prove, through actions and not just words, that you are the man she can rely on, her respect will deepen. So my brother, hear this. Leadership is not about controlling her, it is about controlling yourself. It is not about demanding loyalty, it is about earning it. It is not about forcing her to follow, it is about walking so steadily in your vision that she naturally chooses to walk beside you. That is the way of a king. What do you think, brother? What is the hardest part of leadership for men today? Mastering themselves, building vision, or staying calm under pressure? Drop your answer below. I want to hear from you. Chapter 4. The Queen's Role and Why a King Needs Her Strength. 2. A king is never complete without his queen. And just as a man must understand what leadership in love truly means, he must also understand the role of the woman beside him. Too many men believe leadership means standing above their woman, but in truth, leadership means standing with her, guiding her, and allowing her strength to magnify yours. In every kingdom, the queen is not a decoration. She is not simply there to smile, wave, and exist in the shadow of her king. The queen is the king's partner, his confidant, and often the voice of wisdom that steadies him. History reveals this clearly. Think of Marcus Aurelius again. Behind his stoic wisdom was his wife Faustina, a woman whose presence and influence shaped the emperor in ways many never recognized. Or look at great rulers throughout history. The strength of their reign often mirrored the strength of the woman at their side. A queen complements her king, not by competing with his role, but by reinforcing it. Where the king leads with vision, the queen brings life into that vision. Where the king protects the kingdom, the queen nurtures the heart of it. Leadership is the man's burden, but flourishing is often the woman's gift. Without her, the kingdom feels empty, no matter how grand it looks on the outside. But here is where many men make a mistake. They either undervalue their woman or overvalue her to the point of losing themselves. A weak man worships his woman as if she were a goddess, surrendering his leadership and abandoning his role. An insecure man diminishes his woman, silencing her voice and dismissing her wisdom. Both extremes destroy the balance of a relationship. A true king honors his queen. He sees her strength not as a threat, but as an asset. He invites her counsel, but he does not surrender his responsibility. He allows her to shine, but he never dims his own light. Together they create harmony, a balance of masculine direction and feminine influence that builds something greater than either could alone. Understand this. A woman tests a man not because she wants to dethrone him, but because she wants to trust him. Deep down, she craves the security of knowing her man can stand strong when she cannot. But once she knows he is unshakable, she will give him her loyalty, her respect, and her support. That is when the queen's true power awakens. A queen magnifies the kingdom. She brings warmth to the man's discipline. She brings beauty to his vision. She brings heart to his structure. Without her, the king may build walls, but inside those walls there will be no life. With her, the walls become a home, the vision becomes a legacy, and the kingdom becomes a sanctuary. But a king must be wise enough to recognize when his queen's strength surpasses his pride. A foolish man resents a woman's insight, but a wise man listens. The greatest kings in history were not surrounded by weak voices. They were surrounded by strong ones. And though the final responsibility rested on the king, the counsel of his queen often shaped decisions that saved kingdoms. In love, this is no different. A man who ignores the wisdom of his woman will suffer blindness. A man who fears the power of his woman will weaken himself. But a man who honors her strength without surrendering his role creates a partnership that no storm can break. So, my brother, remember this. You are the king, but your woman is the queen. Lead with vision, but let her wisdom sharpen you. Stand with authority, but let her nurture give life to your mission. Protect her, and she will empower you. Guide her, and she will multiply your legacy. Together, the king and queen become unstoppable because each strengthens the other. Do you believe a man becomes stronger when he honors his woman's strength, or do you think too much feminine influence weakens his leadership? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your perspective. My brother, if you have walked with me to this point, then you already know you are not called to be average. You are not called to drift without purpose, chasing empty pleasures, waiting for life to hand you meaning. You are called to be a king. And a king does not wait for the crown to fall on his head. He forges it with his actions, his discipline, and his vision. Too many men today are collapsing under the weight of life because they have forgotten their role. They want the respect of a king but live with the habits of a servant to their own weakness. They want the loyalty of a queen but refuse to offer direction, protection, or stability. They want to be followed, yet they wander aimlessly. And when things fall apart, they blame everyone but themselves. But a true man, a true king, does not blame. He takes responsibility. Leadership in love is not about being flawless. You will face failures, you will feel moments of doubt, you will be tested by your woman and by life itself. But what defines you is not the stumble, it is the recovery. A weak man stays down. A true king rises again every single time. He learns, he adapts, he strengthens himself, and he leads with even more clarity. That is the kind of man your woman can follow with trust. But here is the secret. The queen beside you is not there to compete with you. She is there to complete the vision. Her strength does not weaken your leadership, it amplifies it. When you stand steady, she flows into your steadiness. When you protect her, she empowers you. When you set the vision, she breathes life into it. Without her, your kingdom may stand, but it will feel hollow. With her, your kingdom becomes alive, yet you must never surrender your role. Too many men fall into extremes. Either they crush their woman's spirit by trying to dominate her, or they surrender all responsibility by letting her lead the relationship. Both destroy respect. A true king knows how to listen without losing himself. He knows how to honor his woman's wisdom without giving up his authority. He knows how to stand firm calm and consistent, because that is the only way love thrives. So ask yourself this, brother, what kind of king will you be? The tyrant who rules with fear and loses her heart, the coward who avoids responsibility and loses her respect, or the leader, the man who commands his life with vision, steadiness, and discipline, and in return wins a queen's loyalty, respect, and devotion? The choice is yours. You are either building a kingdom or you are letting it collapse. You are either guiding with strength or you are drifting into weakness. You are either leaving behind a legacy or you are becoming another forgotten voice in the wind. If this message struck something deep inside you, then don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with a brother who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the Stoic Golden Tribe. This is more than content. It is a movement, a brotherhood, a call for men to rise into the strength they were always meant to carry. And now I ask you, what kind of king will you choose to be? Drop your answer in the comments below. Because the tribe is not built by silence, it is built by the wisdom and courage of men who dare to speak, to lead, and to inspire. So stand tall, lead with vision, protect with strength, honor your queen. And remember this, kingdoms rise and fall, but your legacy as a man begins with the choices you make today. Be the king,